Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar. I am at the house and I'm about to tell y'all about some more stuff that has been brought to my attention and some things that are going on. So here we go. I ain't about to waste no time with that either. This is not going to be like yesterday where I kept on uploading 30-minute, increments of the story time. It was just a lot going on, and I wanted to make sure y'all fully understood everything that was going on. Like, it was just, then I just started kind of reliving certain things too. So I figured it was going to be between 4 to 6 parts. So my apologies for that. It's just a lot, and I just wanted to make sure y'all fully got it. So okay, so I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but one of my friends is in the hospital, and he's basically going through rehab now because ever since last summer, not this summer of this year, the summer of 2022, he got bit by a spider. And it was like a brown recluse spider. And it was bad. Obviously it's bad because he's still suffering. I didn't know how bad it was until recently. His daughter had posted a picture of him on social media, and she was in the hospital with him still. So I was looking like, what is going on? He's still in the hospital? Like, okay. So I was just like, okay. I hadn't told anybody that I was coming. Nobody knew I was coming home. I made a point not to say nothing. Even if, you see things I'm posting, like I'm leaving Virginia, I still did not specify that I was going to be coming to Alabama, right? So some people are, secretly hoping that I was going to come back because they miss me. It is what it is. I get that. He's one of those people that whenever I post something, he sees it. That's something, I don't know what it is. He will somehow find a way to see it. He get every single notification. I don't know if he just be like, oh, I don't know if she posted today. Let me, type her name in. He sees everything that I post, right? Well, I went to the post office on the 31st. The only reason why I know that is because that's my aunt's birthday. And me and my daddy, we were supposed to go and get some food for her and her husband for them to eat because it's just kind of like a tradition. It's kind of turned into a tradition of things that get done for them on my aunt's birthday. Like, perfect example. I've told y'all before that my mama is like really lucky. Now y'all probably like, girl, how your mama lucky and she over here paralyzed right now? Listen, that ain't got to do what I'm talking about. My mama will put in for different contests and stuff like that, and she'll win like small to big prizes. One time my mama won a cruise and gave it to one of my, I'm going to just say, undeserving aunts. I said what I said, it is what it is. But she's one of the few relatives in our family that like goes places, she travel and all this other stuff. So my mama thought to give it to her because my mama was not about to get on a cruise. Even at that time, and I mean this was years ago, my mama, she just was like, yeah, I ain't going. My daddy probably wasn't gonna get on there either, so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it away as a gift to one of your sisters for their birthday, Christmas, whatever. I think it was like an early birthday gift or something like that. Gave it to her. One time my mama won tickets to, if you from Montgomery, y'all know about Victoryland. Before whoever's over it now, because I've been hearing all kinds of stuff about how it is now. Victoryland is like this casino or whatever that's like, it's not in Montgomery, but it's like a stone's throw, if you will, from Montgomery. It's right up the street. You might as well say it's right up the street. But a lot of people before the casino that actually is in Montgomery got here, they were going there. And she won a contest where you were able to dine there. And, of course, it was you and another person. And so for her, that same aunt, her birthday or for her anniversary, she had won it. So she wasn't gonna go because again, my mama, she don't really be wanting to go nowhere like that. So when it pertained to that. Now she's won other things, and man, y'all don't want. It's a laundry list. But anyway, she won that at Victory Land. So her and her husband went up there. They had like some kind of candlelit dinner. They had the most expensive thing on the menu. Whatever they wanted, they could get off the menu. Like, it was a whole to do. And other stuff that was included in the package that my mama won. One time, my mama won a trip to Atlanta. This was back in the 90s. My daddy and my brother went to a Braves game. Baseball. I love baseball, actually, y'all. I ain't watched baseball in years, but I used to sit there and watch it. Like, I live for baseball. I live for NASCAR, all of that. I'm just saying. I'm people look at me and think one thing, and then when I start talking about stuff, they be like, "What? You like that? What? I would have never." I'm like, yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover. But yeah, she won that. We ended up being able to go to Embassy Suites. The breakfast was amazing. We had nice. That was one of y'all. When this happened, this was in the 90s, like I said, and I can remember how the banana tasted that I took from the area where we were able to get our breakfast every morning. I'm talking about the food that was being cooked at the time was delicious. I don't know what it is now. I don't know how it is now, but all I know is that it was a fully glass elevator that we went up and down when we were on the elevator, going back and forth to when we would leave the building to go somewhere, or we would leave to go downstairs to go get something to eat. I thought that was so dope. It was so amazing to me as a child. But yeah, it was that. The hotel stay was free. I think that might have been for a week for all of us to go. It's 5 of us total. My parents, myself, and my 2 siblings. My brother's the youngest. So they went to a Braves game. Food was covered. It was somewhere else. I think they were supposed to be able to tour the Coca-Cola plant or something at the time. But I think it might have got rained out the day that they were supposed to go or something like that. But yeah, we had all kinds of stuff we were supposed to be able to do. Free. That my mama won. Like, y'all don't understand. My mama's lucky. So, it was just a situation where all this stuff was coming about. My mama had all that. And, that's why I said it. So, in the past, for my aunt's birthday, or for when my aunt and my uncle were, their anniversary came about, they set it off. My mama usually would win something, and if she didn't win something around that time, she would add to it if she did win. So let's just put it like that. She was making full meals from scratch, baking cakes from scratch. People live for my mama's cooking and baking. My cousin, she on here, she'll attest to it. Listen, she older than me, so she didn't have my mama cooking longer than me. Everybody live for my mama's cooking. You can say, "Oh, I don't eat this all day long," but if my mama make it, I'm pretty sure all of a sudden you're gonna be like, "Well, I don't know what everybody else was doing, but it's delicious. I just only eat hers." So anyway, it just became a tradition, because believe it or not, when I tell y'all, as I got older, I started realizing stuff. I remember I used to see pictures where I could tell that my aunt and uncle were at my grandmother's house, not my daddy's mama's house, but my aunt, who's in that picture with my uncle, was at my mama's house, outside in the yard, and you could tell they was partying and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at pictures of their wedding, my parents' wedding. My aunt and uncle are in it, and I'm like, wait a minute. As I got older, I started to question. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But they went to school together. You know what I'm saying? My mama and my aunt, they actually were cool. They the same age and all this other stuff. They were, the same, on the same level. But my daddy, he was like just a little bit older. And he lived for my mama. And tried to roll up and was like, yeah, tell your friend I want to holler at her. And my mama told her, you need to tell your brother if he want to step to me, he need to step to me. Don't be trying to send no messenger. My mama's a gangster, y'all. I ain't finna get into that right now. But anyway, back to the story, eh? So, with that situation, so this year, my mama ended up asking me to go and pick up food. But before that, my daddy and I were supposed to go together, but his best friend came by. He wanted to go do some country boy stuff or whatever. Like, it actually is important, but stuff like that excites my daddy. Like, it is what it is. And so my mom was like, well, you do know she can go get the stuff, because I already was going. I was going to go to the storage again, and I was going to go, like, he was just going to ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever I'm here, he'll ride with me. But lately, he been liking to drive the luxury vehicle, which is my sister's car. My sister has an SUV, a luxury SUV. And for right now, he's been just, riding around and getting it in my sister's luxury SUV. But he does other stuff to it or whatever. He's trying to keep up, the upkeep and all the other stuff, and doing little stuff to it to make it better. But in his mind, after he get done, it's gonna be his. They arguing about it, and it's funny. When I tell y'all, I'm gonna have popcorn, because I think my sister think it's a game, and I'm trying to tell her that he dead serious. But anyway, y'all, so I end up going to the city. So what I did was I went to the post office because I had some keys. Y'all know I had my P.O. box. I had my P.O. box, and because my keys were missing, I didn't find them until Sunday. The post office is closed on Sundays. I'm leaving Virginia. My P.O. box is in Virginia. So the person who basically did all the work for me, she gave me her address, which actually was the second time I'm going to have to tell her about that. Be like, girl, you gave me your address before. I didn't even realize it. But I went over there so that I could ship them to her, and gave her instructions inside as far as what she needs to do. They should be getting there Friday so that she can do that for me and close it out, because I don't want to incur any charges for them having to redo the box and change it out, because I forgot how much it was, but I ain't got no money to get them. So I did that. So I sit in my car after I'm done. By this time, it's like 3:30. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to the storage unit. This is a whole nother day, because I was gonna go to the storage unit again. I'd already went one time because my daddy was trying to, show me how everything went. And that's when we ended up finding out that all my stuff ain't even here. Y'all, I don't even know. Y'all, anyway, I think I told y'all about the other day. So yeah, all my stuff ain't here. And then the 2 numbers that they gave me, they ring once and then it goes to a voicemail. And I don't think I'm gonna get my money back. And I'm just like, see, y'all trifling. Like, at this point, I'm trying to figure out how my folks even came across these people for them to ever answer the phone, because ain't nobody answering the phone. So anyway, y'all, I'm looking. Some tell me, no, don't go to your storage today. I ain't know what it was. So then the first thing I did when I got on Facebook, something told me. I said, what my friend up to? Because I have his notifications off, because at one point in time, he was doing a whole lot. And it was just draining me. And I already had a lot going on. And I was just like, I don't need to be brought down any lower than I already feel with depression and darkness and all that. So I turned off the notifications. So I still check on him from a distance. And you know what I'm saying? That's just how I had to do that. Love him down. But I was just like, I can't do this. Like, he gonna make me lose my entire mind. Y'all, I went on there, and so I'm like, okay, I think he's still in the hospital. I don't know which hospital though. And so I call around to every hospital in Montgomery. We don't have anybody by that name. What you talking about? Nobody's admitted by that name. What is you talking about? He's in the hospital right now. I know he is. Child, I get mad a little bit. I'm like, dang it, I'm gonna have to call him. I have his phone number. I just don't call his number. I end up just calling him on the Facebook app. And I said, I wonder if he'll answer. I'm me, so in my mind, I'm like, he gonna answer for me, because he lived for me. And he did. I'm glad that I'm cocky enough to believe these things I'm telling myself. But no, for real, he really do like live for me, for real. Like, he lived for me. So he answered the phone, sounded all chipper, happy, and all this other stuff. So I said, where are you? He told me where he was. I said, you know what? And I started laughing. I said, I was trying to be sneaky. I'm here in Montgomery, and I was going to come and see you. And I called all these hospitals, and you were not now one of them. And so he was like, yeah, I was in the hospital, but now I'm here and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay. So he told me where it was. I had to ask him, like, where was it? Because I ain't never even heard this place before. I ain't know where it was. He told me the street it was on and all this other stuff. I know where that area is, but y'all, I have not ran the streets in Montgomery in so long. Y'all, back then, before I left, because of I ain't gonna lie to y'all, whenever an ex has done something that I've been able to add to my life that is of value, I give them props on that. My ex that's from Huntsville, he was all about shortcuts. I learned every little shortcut I needed for the entirety of Montgomery, Alabama. I knew how to get places the normal way, several shortcuts, everything else in between. I knew how to do it. My mama would be with me sometimes and be like, how you know about this? How you even know how to get here to this point from here? Like, y'all don't understand. I knew all of it. I was figuring stuff out, even stuff he didn't tell me about after he had moved away. I was that. I was that person. Yeah, it's so bad now, y'all. I tried to go somewhere the other day, and by the time I realized where I wanted to go, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go over there. Because I'm like I told y'all, I was searching high and low for them baskets. I said, oh, I'm gonna try this store. Child, it's like a service road that leads to a whole other service road. And when I tell y'all, if somebody said I pay you $5,000 right now to tell me which exit you get off in order for you to end up at that, I'd be like, well, you might well hand it to somebody else, because I ain't gonna know. I don't know how to do nothing no more. Y'all, I ended up on a whole other side down here in the country where I live. And I'm like, all the roads all the road names are familiar. But I was like, I don't know where I am. I should have been ending up right at this particular street, and then I'm heading home because I'm from the country. And I'm just like, why is it not adding up? I was like, no, let me turn my navigational system on. Y'all, I had to bust a U-turn and everything. I was like, what is going on? Y'all, I can't do it. Like, I got to relearn everything. It's sad. Like, and because it was pitch black outside. So it's like, had it been daytime, I would have known where I was. So I would have known that I needed to turn around. But all I knew was the familiarity of the dang street name. And that was it. Y'all, anyway. So now I'm saying to myself, all right, I'm not going to go to my storage unit. I'm going to go see my friends. So I figure out how to get to the place. I put it in my navigational system. I pop up on him. So I told him straight up, I was like, I asked him, within the conversation, are you allowed to see people? Are you trying to see people right now? Are visiting hours over or whatever? He was like, no, visiting hours are still going on. I was like, okay, cool. So talking to him, I go ahead and put everything in my navigational system so I can go see him. So when I get there, everything was cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything was lovely. I enjoyed myself. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of interesting. The area that he's in, it ain't, I don't know what's going on. It's not what it need to be. But I'm just like, okay. That's all I'm going to say as far as that's concerned. So anyway, I'm in there and I'm talking to him. We catching up. And he's one of the few people he's one of the few people that is in my circle that doesn't know about my mama. But I was going to tell him once I saw him face to face. Now, y'all, I done told him the situation and all that. So now he telling me the whole of his situation. Child, the whole time he's talking to me, he's pulling himself up because he's paralyzed. I don't know why. I just never even realized that this man was paralyzed. He never said anything. All he said was, I was bitten by a recluse brown spider. That's all he ever said. So then now he's telling me I'm going through, rehab, therapy, all this other stuff. And so I said, so realistically, how long do you think it's going to be before you're going to be able to be released so you can live on your own? And he told me if everything goes according to how he think it's going to go, he should be able to, be on his own beginning of the year. Y'all, he can't walk. He can't walk. He was moving his feet and legs and stuff the whole time I was in there trying to get it. And you could tell that there was pain on his face. And I was just like, I don't know how he gonna be able to do that. Like, I guess determination and prayer and, I know that miracles happen. I was just like, I just never knew that he was bad off like that. I did not know. So I told him that I would definitely be coming to see him very often. I'm going to try to come at least once a week. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to try. Almost every time I come to the city, I'm going to try to come see him. Now, whenever I do get a job, if he's still in there, I'm gonna be popping up on my way home and all that stuff. Even if where I'm gonna be working is gonna be not in Montgomery. I have a feeling if everything goes according to plan, I won't be working in Montgomery County because it'll be a conflict of interest because my sister is a judge here. So yeah. We've already discussed all that. We already know what it's hitting for, and so I'm okay with that. It's okay. It'll be like an extra, amount of time that I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm up and ready for. But, if I do get it, it's gonna be kinda hard starting out because I live in the country. So it's gonna be a longer drive. But it'll be worth it in the end because I'll be building up everything and I'll be able to go where I want to go because where I'm going to eventually move to, it is going to be it's going to be closer, way closer. And I'll just be able to hit the interstate within moments and go straight to work. Versus me having to drive a literal country mile and then some to get to a highway and all that stuff, and it's gonna take me quite a while to get to work. So anyway, y'all just pray for my friend because he really is going through. I came home that night after I finally dropped everything off to my aunt because I went to go get her food. Child, that was an ordeal all in and of itself. I'm just like, what in the world? Like, it was a mess. So I went and got her food. I ended up getting lost because I hadn't eaten all day. Y'all, I've been bad about that. And today, I ain't eat today yet either. I gotta stop, y'all. It's bad. So I stopped somewhere to get me something to eat. But I went another way, and that's how I got lost. It was a mess. But anyway, by the time I finally got to her house, I dropped her food off. She didn't know I was coming. She didn't know I was here at all. And her doorbell wasn't working. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, call her and tell her to come to the door because she's expecting her brother, my daddy. So she opened the door. Y'all, it's freezing outside by this time because it's dark. She opened the door. She looked around the corner and sees me. She was like, oh my gosh, I was expecting, say my daddy's name and all this other stuff. I walk in the door. She hugged me so tight, y'all, because I was trying to do like a little hug. She hugged me so tight. She got me. I'm like, oh my God. I'm bigger than her now. She got me like this. She got me in a pretzel. Hugging me tight. I ain't never been hugged so tight. Oh my gosh. She was hugging me so tight. And then, to make matters even better, to make everything, just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, my uncle was sitting there. He was watching a baseball game. And he said my name. He said, hey, Blenda, how you doing? Y'all, I almost teared up. I had to stop myself. I was like, nope. No, we're not finna do this. I said, hey, I'm good. How you doing? And then, like, all the while, I'm talking to my aunt. My aunt told me to sit down because she wanted to talk to me. We talking. I'm finding out some exciting, well, we're, comparing notes, if you will. She's wanting to know if I know one of the surprises that's, happening. And I told her I am aware that I'm excited about it. And then my uncle, he would chime in from time to time. And he was like, did you drive all the way by yourself from Virginia? Like, he's asking me very specific questions in a way where he is who he is. Like, he's not having a dementia moment. Like, the dementia is if it's not there. Every time I would turn to talk to him, I'm just like, I can't believe you remember. And he would say my name over and over again. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because one time she got on video and she was recording. Oh, my hand started shaking. Just think about it. She had got on video and she was sending me video messages. And he was trying to, you could tell he was kind of looking confused. And that broke my heart. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, he really did not know what was going on. And that was just tearing my nerves up so bad. Because if y'all knew how my uncle was before all this happened, like, he can sing down, first of all. Sings down. Amazing black-owned business owner. He builds homes, all of that. His own business. Child, him and my daddy thick as thieves. because he doesn't know all about vehicles and stuff, he mainly would depend on my daddy to, fix things if things was going on with his lawnmowers, tractors, and vehicles. So, they thick as thieves. And like I said before, my dad, my uncle, and my aunt were in my parents' wedding. Like, I just didn't understand what was going on. And then I got older and started asking questions. And I'm like, wow, all this stuff makes sense. So anyway, but yeah, I sat down, I talked with them for a while. And I got a nice picture with them. They were cheesy. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Excuse me, y'all. Look at that. But yeah, it was so amazing. Oh my gosh. So y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this and I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm not gonna be able to hold it too long. I'm not gonna be alright. So I just had a conversation with my mama like an hour and a half ago. My brother and my father are gone into town, or whatever, however you want to say it, because we're from the country. And the first of the month is here. Usually they go and get all the groceries or most of the groceries that they're going to get for the month once my daddy's check hits from him being retired or whatever, right? And so they're up there getting my mama's medications and getting food, getting everything they normally do. Toiletries, whatever they need to get. They have a lot of stuff set for pickup. Excuse me. So they don't have to be out as long. But they stay gone for like maybe 2 hours. Me and my mama are here by ourselves. Now my mama's used to being by herself on days like this, and it is what it is. Like, she ain't scared or none of that, even though she's paralyzed, right? So I'm in there. Even before they left, I was talking to my mom. I was already talking about some other stuff. So when they left, once I knew they were gone, I had been meaning to ask, and I was like, oh, I'm going to ask before the end of this week. So I said, Mom, how y'all run y'all campaign? I said, who empties out your stuff? Because she's hooked up, and she, she pees, and she has a catheter or whatever, and they have this whole machine set up. And I noticed that it's never overflowing or anything, but I never see anybody go do anything with it. So I was just like, how you run the campaign? Like, who's bathing you? Who's washing your hair? How often do you get your hair washed? Like, I'm asking all these things. And so she explained to me, she said, every morning my daddy or my brother goes to empty out her, I forgot what it's called, wicker or whatever she said it is. Somebody empties that out every day that the catheter is attached to. They wash her hair once a month. Sometimes they do it twice a month. But they just try to keep it where it's at the beginning of each month. My daddy washes her hair. My daddy, he washes her hair. My daddy bathes my mama. And yeah, she said that's one thing that I can say. Well, before I get to that part, because it led up to this. So we talking. And I don't even remember how we got to this part. But she said when everything happened and she became paralyzed, she said my brother had a nervous breakdown. She said he completely broke down. I was like, what? She said, yeah. She was like, I know you don't know this, but your brother broke down. And she said when everything first happened, she wanted to break down because it was happening to her, obviously, right? But she saw how my brother was breaking down, and she told herself she can't do that. She can't break down when he is in shambles. My brother was in shambles. So I'm in disbelief that my mama is telling me that this is what has happened. This is what has transpired, because I ain't never so much as heard my brother sniffle in life. My brother don't cry. He don't do none of that. My brother don't show no emotions. When this happened, it broke my brother. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And she told me something that is amazing, which is that he actually goes to therapy. And I said, what? She said, yeah, he actually goes to therapy now. And it seems to be helping. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because when I started going to therapy, I was a social worker at DHR. And I've never been sure about what my parents' stance was on therapy. And But I know now that they are advocates for it. So I told him that that's amazing. I'm glad that he was going, and it's definitely something that I was somewhat skeptical of, but I ain't had no choice but to go. And that was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it unblocked things in me that I didn't know were blocked. I'm literally just telling somebody things that have happened in my life. And it just freed me. I was just, I couldn't believe how free I was. So yeah, when I tell y'all, so when she told me that my brother broke down, so I'm like, okay, so when did daddy break down at this point? She was like, I'm gonna tell you like this. Your daddy didn't break down. I was like, what? She was like, your daddy didn't break down. Now in my mind, I'm saying to myself, now you think daddy ain't break down. My personality is, I get my personality. My personality is my daddy's and his mama's. I'm a whole lot like them. I'm a very sensitive person, and I feel what everybody else is giving off. Like it hurts me because I don't like to see other people in pain. But she said, this is one thing that I can give your folks. She says that she talking about my daddy's side of the family. She said that's one thing I can give your daddy's side of the family is that, with the exception of like one of your aunts, they believe in taking care of sick people. They believe in taking care of you if you're sick. They believe in, coming to your aid when you're going through. So another thing that I was unaware of is that everybody knows on my daddy's side of the family, even though my mama did not specifically tell everybody, she specifically only told my aunt who has my cousin that had the stroke. She told her about it. She told my aunt that I just told y'all about, who has the birthday on October 31st, whose husband has dementia. And she told my other aunt. It's another aunt that she going through a lot of stuff herself, but yeah, those are the only people that she specifically told. But she said all the rest of them are aware. But on her side of the family, only my aunt knows. My aunt that had breast cancer, that is always eager and happy to see me, always ask about me and all of that. And she's the aunt that in my mama's mind, even while I was living in Virginia, my mama would always say, oh, I'm gonna try to win a house, or I'm gonna try to find a house so that you, your aunt, and her grandkids can all stay in that house. And I'm saying to myself, I love living by myself, so I don't know why she keep thinking that we gonna live together. But if a situation were to arise and it worked out like that would be nice in a sense, because her grandkids are very well, mannered. They don't be running around making no noises and, being disruptive. Like, my cousin has a lot of kids, and my aunt takes care of them. My cousin don't really do nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you, it is what it is. My sister has had to stand in the gap for my aunt, with one of my cousin's kids, because he would achieve so much in school and all this other stuff that he wasn't going, and my aunt might not have been able to go, because I think at that particular time my aunt was down. Something was going on with her and she couldn't get out the house, so my sister went in her place. So yeah, y'all, I was taken aback that my brother broke down like that. Like she said, my brother was hysterical. And so I was just like, so when exactly did it get to that point? She said it was during one of the instances where she dropped to her knees and they had to get her up, and then it's like it came to a realization. She said it's like he came to this realization that she's paralyzed. Like, what are we gonna do? She can't do nothing for herself. So he did not take it well at all. He had a breakdown. And I was just like, oh my God. But like I said, my mama said my dad ain't never had no breakdown. He just went into caregiver mode, and it just been what it is. In my mind, I feel like my dad has gone off by himself somewhere and has cried a little bit from time to time. I don't care what my mama say. I feel like he's gone somewhere and just had some moments. He might not cry anymore because it's normalcy to him now for him to take care of her full time like this. But I feel like he's gone somewhere and has cried. Because, I mean, I understand that she's my mama, I understand that she my mama, because when everything happened and she told me about it, I was in Virginia and she was here. And she went down the list. That's when I found out about my uncle having dementia. But when I found out about it, I had to go to work within the next 6 hours, if that. And I just laid there with my eyes up. I couldn't go to sleep. And it was just a situation where I was just like, look, I can't. Like, I don't even know how I got up. Like, I was like a zombie. I was just there. I was numb. I feel like work kind of saved me from just being asleep, because, like, while I've been off work, I told y'all, I've been off work and depressed, and I just been asleep. I'll wake up, look around, be like, nope, and go right back to sleep. Like, that's how, when I'm depressed like that, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing at all except sleep it away and just escape it through sleeping. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to get up and eat. I don't care. Like, I was so out of it. My stomach wasn't growling, but I hadn't been eating. But anyway, y'all, so the fact that she's telling me that my daddy hasn't, cried or broke down or none of that, I don't believe it. I just feel like he's been strong in front of her, and he's had moments where he's kind of trying to process it and all that. I found out that she does not have a colostomy bag. I know I'm saying it wrong. So when she does have to do that, my daddy is there and he gets her up so that she can use a pot, and him or my brother dispose of that as well. So yeah, they stepped right in and they take care of my mama and they do everything, and they just have a routine that works well for them. I told my mama, I said, I don't know what they doing, but it's running like a well-oiled machine. I didn't understand how everything was happening, because I literally never see them do anything. When I go in, I'm in the room with my mama almost all day. I'll go leave the house for a little while, do stuff, or I'll go up front where I'm, at right now. I'm in the living room for right now until I move. And I just do stuff on my phone, on my laptop, and all that other stuff or whatever. And that's all I be doing. I don't be doing nothing special. But I just be trying to figure out, when are they doing these things? I'm just like, what is even happening? When are they doing any of this stuff? But they are doing, like, the stuff is happening. But yeah, I feel like my daddy he has his moments, or has had his moments. I can only imagine, because you got to be strong for that person, because they going through it. But at the same time, he's going through it too. So, oh my gosh, y'all. When I tell y'all, I could not believe that my brother broke down. Like, if you knew my brother, you would just be like, what? I grew up with him my whole life. Like, what? I used to take care of him, in a sense. Like, my mama's always been there. My mama was a stay-at-home mom. So it's not like one of them situations where she pawned them off on me or something like that, because I'm the oldest. It was never nothing like that. Let's be clear. But I'm just saying that when he came, I was holding him. I wanted to learn how to change diapers. So I was changing his diaper, cleaning him. I've bathed him before. Like, he's 5 years younger than me. So, I mean, I've been around him my entire life until I moved away. I've never seen him cry. I've never seen none of this. I mean, he got whooped a lot. Like, I'm not talking about crying in that regard, because he was a bad child, so to speak. But he's been doing an exceptionally amazing job at taking care of my parents, essentially. He cooks for them. That's how they eat, like, both of them. When they get their food, is when he cooks it. He go in there and he cook the food for them and bring it to them and all that. Like, he made soup from scratch the other day and was bringing them bowls of it and all that stuff. Like, he really be in there cooking. My sister's reception thing that she had before, it was either before or after she had gotten her assignment to become a judge, she had it where she was being celebrated, and my brother catered the whole thing. He cooked everything. My aunt, that's my mama's sister, she recorded the whole event, And when everybody was eating, they was over there huddled up in their own area. They was so quiet, and all you heard was eating. Them people, I thought that my sister had paid good money for people to come in and cater something, and it was my brother the whole time. Like, we know how to cook. We were taught how to bake and cook and all that stuff since we were children. And it wasn't in an effort for, oh, well, you gonna do this so you can do this for me. It just, no. Like, for me, baking was always therapeutic. It was always fun. I always liked being in the kitchen. I always liked watching my mom cook. I always loved watching her bake. My grandmother, her mama, I used to love watching her make peanut butter cookies, and her cooking scrambled eggs. I don't know what it was, and she taught me how she did it, because it used to take me forever, and it don't take that long to cook no egg. And when she told me what she did, I used to, like, she was like, if your eggs ain't done within 3 minutes, you doing something wrong from start to finish. I was like, oh, okay. So I started doing, like, it's just all kinds of stuff. Then my paternal grandmother, my daddy's mama, I used to watch her do tea cakes. I used to go around in the yard with her, and she would pick figs whenever everything was doing as it should when it comes to pecans. Apparently, this is one of the years where it's barren here. But when I was leaving Virginia, outside of where I live, like in my yard, we had pecans, and they were falling from the tree. But they ain't falling around here. We ain't got none around here this year. So if anybody wants any to bake in, to bake with anything, pecan wise, they're gonna have to go buy something from the store this year. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, y'all, it's been a roller coaster ride. A lot of stuff going on. These are things I would have never thought was going on. But yeah, just pray for us. Oh, another part of the conversation that we did finally have the conversation all together about my mom, whether or not she's going to have the surgery. She still has not settled on whether or not she's going to have the surgery on her back. I told her the same thing I've been saying this whole time, is that I am very skeptical of this surgery, and I really don't want her to do it because the odds are stacked so high against her, because she has her age working against her. And I told her straight up, I said, they would say you're weight, but she was losing weight before all this happened. So she had already lost a decent amount of weight prior to this. Even though she eats, she has her moments where she eating bad stuff, but she actually is eating a lot of good stuff. Like I said, my brother was making soup from scratch the other day. My daddy had bought a honeydew melon the other day. My brother cut it up, even though he said it didn't taste like nothing because of where they got it from. But they was bringing fruit in there. I brought bags of fruit with me. My mama told me, because I had bought my daddy, I was being sneaky the other day. My daddy went into the store. He wanted me to see the inside of this store I'd never been to that wasn't here when I first left. He said, oh, I want you to go in the store with me. Went in that store with him. Funny, we ran into a relative. My dad didn't even know her name. But anyway, and I walked up to her. I said, is your name da-da-da? And she said, yes, it is. And then continued to turn back around and talk to my daddy, because my daddy didn't even know who she was. My mama's confused right now as to how I know her. And I said, Mom. Like, anyway, we ain't even going to get into that. It was a whole to-do. But my daddy wanted some M&Ms. They did not have no candy like that in that store. Everything is like Mexican candy or something in there, and that's it. They had a whole aisle dedicated to candy, and I'm talking about a long aisle. All of it was Mexican candy. My daddy wanted M&Ms so bad, and so he was like, oh, I'm finna go to another store and get some M&Ms, because we was in separate cars that day when we went to my storage unit and all that stuff. I said, well, Daddy, don't worry about it. Go ahead and go home. I'll get you a bag of M&Ms. I got to go run my errands, and I'll be over there. I'll be home, whatever. I did that on purpose so he'd get on somewhere, so I could go to the store and get him like the big old family size bag of peanuts. And I said, well, which ones do you want? You want peanuts, or do you want almonds? Because I knew he liked, peanuts, but I didn't know if he just had a taste for almonds or whatever. And he was like, well, I like the ones with peanuts or with almonds. It don't matter. I was like, okay, I'm not finna get you no little bag. I'm finna get you the family size bag. So the place I wanted to go to look at the baskets and stuff, I said, I know they got them. I know they got a bigger bag. They had one family size bag left. I said, he finna get this. I said, well, let me not leave my mama out. So I know she loved Twix. So they didn't have no family size bag. So I got 2 bags that equated up to the family size bag for her. So that's what I did. So when I pulled in the yard, or when I pulled up, my daddy was walking out, and I guess he wanted his M&Ms. I was like, yeah. I let my window down. He got the biggest smile on his face. He was like, oh, I needed that. And I started laughing. I said, that's why I wanted you to go on home. That's why I told you don't worry about it. I was going to go get them for you. So I did that. And then I came in the house and I gave my mama the Twix. And so she told me, she said thank you or whatever. But she was like, if you think of me and you want to get some while you out, just get me some fruit. I said, okay. Because my mama, she trying to do right at times. She be having her moments where, because we've already had this conversation. I told her she wanted to know about the alkaline lifestyle, and I told her how it go, and everything she be talking about be meat, and I told her you can't have that. So but anyway, so yeah, it's just pray for us. There's a lot going on, and I'm just trying to get my footing. I'm about to have people who are gonna start calling if they're interested in my application and all this stuff. My applications, they're gonna start calling starting tomorrow, Monday at the absolute latest, about jobs. So wish me good luck as far as that is concerned as well. I really do believe I will be getting something very, very soon, so I'm not worried about it. I greatly appreciate it. I'm okay. I'm okay. I just want to start working soon so that I can make sure that I'll be able to continue to pay my car note and, for all my basic necessities. I have things that I need to make sure I continue to maintain. And it's not a lot, but I mean, I want to be able to, bring what I'm supposed to bring and continue paying my bills. Oh man, y'all. But yeah, that's my life right now. I'm about to go back in here and bother my mama some more. She hasn't allowed me to do the cupping thing to her yet. I want to rub her legs. And one day when she's ready, I will start the cupping stuff on her back. So yeah, I'll let y'all know how that goes. Cause she was nervous about it. My daddy explained to her how it go and all that stuff with the glass ones. I don't trust myself with the glass ones. I've been burn me and everybody else up with that. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go, but we gonna see. Anyway, I'm about to get off here. Go check on my mama. Check my little messages and things. I had to check with HR and get some stuff straight. They have it set up where as soon as you are out the system to them, where your resign date and all that stuff is in there, you have no access to your check stubs or nothing else. Because I was gonna go in and change my address. I had to wait until after my last stuff, my last stuff, whatever it was posted. But anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.